you go down a ways, you'll start to feel a little tougher material, and you're hitting ribs, part of the rib cage. And then I want to go back and do the same thing right about maybe where the bladder connects. You can start making another lateral incision and try and get this flap pulled back. As you pull it back, you can see layers of skin, some thin layers of muscle. Piggy didn't have very strong abs, no six-pack abs on this little guy. But when you peel the flap back, a lot of the liquid will drain out into your tray. And again, if the smell's too overwhelming, you can always rinse it out. But once the juice kind of gets out of there, it's easier to see stuff. So we'll do the same thing on the other side and pull that back. And I don't know if you remember the membrane that covers the internal cavities and all the organs, mesentery. So cutting through that. All right, so we're into the abdomen pretty well. So a lot of intestine going on here. And how do you know large intestine, small intestine? Well, part of the challenge is just looking at the diameter of the tube, but if you get to the back side of the abdominal cavity where it goes down toward the butt, that's going to be the rectum, or on its way out. And so that's large intestine. And so it's the last part of the intestines that's a little bit broader, a little wider in diameter. That would be large intestine. All right, so what else we got in here? Well, this greenish stuff, a little thicker. Now I'm looking at large intestine. I'm going to see if I can separate a little higher and pull back. Going through the sternum, through the diaphragm, sternum, to get into that chest cavity a little bit. I'm a little off center, so it's not quite as easy to see. And I'm going to cut down on the other side and pull that back so I can see even better. So cutting through ribs, kind of on this armpit here. So taking a look in here, I see a tissue right under my finger separating the two cavities. It's a strong muscular layer separating the abdominal cavity and thoracic cavity. So this is the diaphragm right in here. And if I separate the other side, I'll peel that back a little bit, and you'll hopefully see coming across the top of the abdomen a bile-producing and detoxifying organ known as the liver. So I'm cutting through the diaphragm to peel it back better. You can try to get some push pins to peel back. You can also just take your scissors and cut and get that section or the skin and muscle peeled or completely out of there, just so you can get in and see better. But I don't know if you can see the cross section of some of the ribs I've gotten through. So for really getting a good look, sometimes it makes sense to just cut and slice out the different flaps, so they're just out of your way. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So this large organ right here, multi-lobed liver, and underneath the liver on the left side, coming from an esophagus, would be your stomach, and then that tongue-like organ that wraps around the stomach. In this case it's pulled back a little bit, but it's right about here. So we're looking at the spleen for recycling dead red blood cells. And if we pull the stomach back, we might be able to find that pancreas, but I might have to get through some mesentery first. So I'll use my dissecting probe.